Hey guys, it's CarGuy11. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to do another podcast tonight, and you can catch this on iTunes podcast or on YouTube in replay. Definitely chat your questions in the chat in YouTube, and you can. The main topic tonight is going to be the New York Auto Show. That was the past 2 days, that were the media days. Unfortunately, I didn't go. I have not been to the New York Auto Show yet. I did get in for media days, but I just haven't made the trip up there yet. So maybe next year, we'll see what happens. But that's the only major auto show I haven't gone to yet. So one of these days, I'm going to get there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to tell you our guest tonight. You probably know AutoNut, who's always on the live streams. How's it going, AutoNut?
Awesome.
And we also have a longtime subscriber, Matt. He's a young guy, but he knows all of the facts and features of cars, and he's participated in live streams with us in the chat and always either corrects us or gives us the real facts. So I asked him to join tonight. So how you doing, Matt? We can't hear Matt. He's muted.
Yeah.
Let me see. All right. Matt, you're muted. But anyway, Matt is on with us as well. And let's see. We have already one in the chat. Destruction Mania says hi. How you doing, Destruction Mania? Thanks for joining us. But we want to start off. There's several debuts here in New York, so we're gonna try to get through a lot of them, and we're gonna start off with the Cadillac CT6 V Sport.
Ooh,
and yeah.
Okay.
This was revealed shortly before the show.
Okay,
I think Matt's back on. How you doing,
Yeah,
Matt?
I don't know what happened. I'm good.
Okay. All right, we're
Had
gonna
a minor issue there.
All
Which
right.
it might have been the issue, but who knows?
We're gonna start off the chat with the Cadillac CT6 V Sport. So I'm not bringing up the photos of it. Do you have some facts on this car, Matt?
Hold on a second. Let me pull that up.
And this was revealed right
the
before.
V-Sport, right?
Yes, this was revealed right before the New York Auto Show, but this was the first public debut at the show.
Did they do a private event for this?
I'm not sure if it was a private event or just a media blast with the showing the new car, and then in particular the new engine was talked about. So we'll talk about all that. But go ahead, Matt.
So it's a 4.2 V8 twin turbo. It says 550 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. So it says it makes the torque from 3,200 to 4,000 RPM. It's also got the 10-speed auto. And non-V-Sport models will also have the V8, but with slightly less horsepower at 500 and 553. So this engine is also rumored to be one of the engines available in the mid-engine Vet. So yeah.
Yeah. So
and they also said it's built at the Corvette factory in Bowling Green. So
right. So yeah, so that's what's interesting. More so the engine than the car. It's a nice refresh. I like the updated styling in the front. It looks very modern.
It looks so much better.
Yeah, it looks really cool. The rear end is updated as well. But yeah, again, the big news is the twin turbo 4.2 liter V8, which is built at the Corvette plant. So it's quite possible it will make its way into the mid-engine Corvette. But I did read something that Cadillac has denied that and said no, it's their exclusive engine. So what it could be,
it's their exclusive engine now.
It's their exclusive engine now, right? And it could also find its way into the Cadillac version of the mid-engine Corvette if they end up doing that. So,
what do you think? You know my big bet on that one, right?
Yeah.
I think that the Cadillac is going to come out with the mid-engine first, and a lot of people don't believe that, but I just have this weird feeling because they put too much money into Cadillac, and they're not getting their money back yet. So, but real quick, the only thing I don't like about this right off the bat is how they just added the little. I mean, it's literally it doesn't fit. It looks like they just stamped it in there. I mean, it's like different color red,
and I don't like. They always had the vertical taillights, and now it has that odd shape to it, you know?
And it's a fine shape. I don't mind the overall shape, but it just seems like it was added to that standard taillight. It wasn't integrated. You know, it's like a stick and like paste it there. So, beautiful car, though.
But one thing about the exclusive engine, I think what they also could do for the C8 is increase the displacement, because that's a pretty small engine for a Corvette. So
I mean, going from 6.2 to
a 4.2, right?
What is it? 4.2. That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah. So I think if they made like a 5-liter, 5.5 liter, something like that.
5-liter would make a lot of sense because, you know, they're going to have to do a right-hand drive, and they're going to want to also get into Europe more. And, you know, you get heavily penalized over 5 liters. So that'd be smart to push that 4.2 up to like a 4.8, 5.0.
Right. And then it would have more power as well. It would be over 600 probably. And
yeah, easily.
Yeah. So I think that's what they're going to do. That's my thought anyway.
I keep having an issue where I try to go onto YouTube, watch the stream, and then it just exits me out. So
yeah, that's okay. I got the questions up here. Brian says hi. Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining us. And Tom Gear says, hey guys, what's up, Tom Gear? That's the picture of the engine. Yes, the new. They didn't even call this engine anything. They didn't name it. They did not name it. So
I think it'll be the LT LS L7500.
Got to add a Z in there somewhere because they like their Z.
Yes, they do. It'll be the LT LS LZ 75, 83, and 92.
Yeah, it is weird that they didn't come up with some sort of name.
Right.
You know, even if it wasn't a nomenclature of letters and numbers, but just some sort of name like the old North Star engine or something. So
yeah, that would have been cool to bring back the North Star or something like that. But
yes, the all new and improved North Star. That's exactly what we want.
So the 10-speed is a question I had. I mean, this is their own 10-speed. Why wouldn't they use the 10-speed that they're sharing with Ford?
That is, it should definitely be that same transmission that's in the Camaro, and
it's not gonna be weird.
The Raptor and all that stuff.
Yeah,
they said it was the one engineer said it was a Cadillac exclusive 10-speed. So I don't know.
They play with those words.
Yeah, exactly.
Tuning, the gearing, stuff like that. But
like you can play around with words. Like you can play with words. Like I know McLaren with the BP23, they said we're not making another 3-seat V12 manual car. They're gonna make something like that. It's just that it won't be a V12 manual.
Right.
Like you can play with words to make it sound like it's not what it really is.
Oh, absolutely. That's marketing, right? That's what they're paid to do.
Mm-hmm.
They get paid big bucks to make things sound exclusive. So we'll see.
Let's bring up the next Cadillac model. And this is a big show for Cadillac because there was like a no-show in Detroit, no-show in Chicago. I mean, they were in Detroit, but they didn't show anything. They actually weren't even at Chicago, which was crazy.
Yeah, they had the Escala or whatever it's called there.
Oh no! Oh, that was the Pittsburgh show. That was the Pittsburgh show. They were a no show. I got confused. But yeah. So the other model that
But still, to your point, they didn't do anything, even if they were there or not, right? They were just
right.
just showing off their cars you can buy and then their concept, right?
So. Right. So they showed their new small SUV, which is the XT4. Doesn't look too bad. It's has
and it's good for a little mid-size SUV.
Well, that's a good question. That's the next part I wanted to talk about. The way they're presenting this is it's smaller than what, that SRX or whatever, the SXR or whatever
XT5?
it was.
Right.
Yeah, they say it's smaller than that to compete with the X1 and the the Audi one.
Yeah.
Yet it's a little bigger than both those cars. They said, like, dimensionally it's very similar, but internally, they moved it up for us big fat Americans.
It's American, so it's got to be bigger.
So yeah, but it's funny. Now, does that mean it's now smaller than the XT5? I mean, where's that place in their lineup now?
So the small crossover range is like on fire right now, so that's kind of where it would slot in.
So it's like okay.
So it'd be like the BMW X1 Fighter, Audi Q3,
CUV,
Mercedes GLC.
So they can
actually no Mercedes GLA, like that.
So they're considering it a CUV then, the compact.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
like a more upscale compact SUV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Taillights were really cool. I love those. Those were pretty fun looking. This picture doesn't really show it off that nice, but there was with the other colors, it looked pretty neat.
It's interesting. I mean, it's what Cadillac's design style is right now. So,
let's see, what engine is that? That's a turbo 4, right?
Looking right now.
Yeah, 237 horsepower.
No,
turbo.
I thought it was 270 something. I thought it was up.
No, I have it here. Yeah, 237 and 258 pound-feet of torque. So, I'm not sure what platform they built that off of. If it's the Equinox platform.
You know, when I was thinking about the 4-cylinder, I was thinking of the RDX. The RDX is the one that's pushing 270 or whatever.
Okay, yeah. And speaking of RDX, let's talk about that one next. Actually.
Well, yeah. So the platform you were saying, I think I saw something about how this platform technically isn't new, but it's a myriad of a couple platforms because they weren't happy with the particular platform, so they sort of combined two platforms. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's sort of like the Lexus thing that they did where they Frankenstein two platforms or what.
Yeah, they didn't really. They didn't really say, and haven't seen many articles. Of course, it just came out, so it'll come out.
That's why you got to subscribe to Fast Lane Car. Your buddy was talking to the head engineer, and that's what he said.
Oh, he did say that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a Frankenstein platform mixture of two.
Okay.
Two existing ones.
Yeah. Why don't we bring up the Acura RDX?
Okay.
Which
all right, let's see what. So yeah, that's the one. It has 272 horsepower, 279 torque.
That's a turbo 4 as well.
Yeah.
They lost the V6, which is kind of a shame. That
actually
used to have the V6.
It was 272, so it's like a little down from the V6 279, but it has 270 torque. It's a 28 advantage over the V6.
That's the MDX, I don't know.
Oh, yes, it is.
But they do have an A-spec version of the MDX as well.
Yeah, and they said 10-speed auto, not the GM one, 62% wider ratio, and yeah.
The thing I don't like about these A-Sports,
A-spec
or A-specs, I don't like the wheels. I don't like gray painted wheels. It looks cheap to me. I like them black, but I don't like the gray. I don't know what you guys think. I just don't like any of those.
I mean, you have to have, like, gray wheels look good, if you have the right paint color, and if it looks like the design of the car looks right. It's like if you throw gunmetal wheels on a car, you have to have them look right.
Yeah, and all the A spec are those gray wheels, and I don't know. I just don't like it. The Tesla has that as well, gray wheels. I mean,
Yeah,
I just don't like how that looks at all.
yeah, that was big in the early 2000s. All the Volkswagens had them, where they had the machine front lips, and then they had the gray inserts. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not a big fan of black wheels anymore. I'm not a fan of the chrome wheels. You're waiting for something different. And that's the problem when you see so many generations and you see things just start repeating themselves again. I don't know what I would pick for a wheel. I really don't like any of them for some reason.
Yeah. One cool thing about the Acuras is the super handling all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
And
they ruined it for the RDX. Did you read about it? They're not doing
it's
they're not doing that
70%
cheater.
rear.
Yeah, 70 instead of the 90-10 that they were able to simulate.
Okay. Yeah, they cut back, but the previous RDX didn't even have it. So
That is true. They just had the regular Honda all-wheel drive system. So that is good.
but at least I still like that it has the rear bias, which is one thing I complained about my Jeep. If you saw my Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk in my last video, that was one of the things I didn't like, is the front wheel bias of that system. And I just, for me, I would prefer it to have that rear wheel drive feel and handling.
I don't think you'll get a rear-wheel drive feel per se, but I think you're going to get a balanced feel out of this car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
with your Cherokee, yeah, your Cherokee doesn't have a balanced feel, right? It has an imbalanced feel, and I think that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get like the Acura or the Audi / BMW German car rear-wheel drive bias feel, but I think it's just going to be balanced, and I think it's going to be good. And you have the torque vectoring, like you're saying. Now with the RDX, I think it's going to be a really good selling vehicle. I mean,
oh yeah, it's definitely going to sell well. They always sell well.
Yeah, it's sharp looking. They're getting a good following every year. They're getting a better following with the RDX.
All the moms in my area are gonna buy them. So
Now they're going to buy. No, they're going to buy the MDXs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
See?
Yeah.
But speaking of rear drive feel, let's move on to the next one, Lincoln Aviator. And this one, I'm really happy and excited about. It's basically the updated Ford Explorer, but what they did is they changed it to a rear drive platform again. And it's probably a version of the Mustang platform. There's a lot of, they saw underneath a lot of Mustang components and stuff like that. I mean, and that is really the only rear drive chassis they have is the Mustang. So it's pretty exciting that they're going back to that rear drive, all-wheel drive. And then I'm sure the next generation Explorer is going to be the same. I think it looks great as well. It looks.
Yeah, Lincoln Concepts. Lincoln Concepts look a lot like what the car will look like.
Yeah.
Like with the Continental and the Navigator.
It's a great point.
So
it's a great point, Matt.
It's about 95% there. So you can expect in a few months' time, maybe at LA, see that same thing.
Yeah, I think it looks. I think it looks great. Although Ford introduces models year ahead of time, so I wouldn't even say this model is going to be out in a year. It's probably going to be over a year before this comes out.
Does this give another nail in the coffin for the Taurus then?
Probably, because the Explorer was built off the Taurus.
You have to share a platform, right? You got to share a platform with something, and what are they going to share it with?
Yep, I agree with that, and I'm just happy they're going to share it with the Mustang platform, because that needs to be shared and continued with the rear drive. And I'm actually hoping they'll make a rear drive Lincoln Coupe. That would be cool.
Lincoln needs a sports car of sorts in their lineup. Because it's like sedan, SUV, SUV. Pretty boring.
Yeah. Nobody's looking at Lincoln. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah, you need something like that. You need something to catch people's attention. Then, even if they're not going to buy a sports coupe or whatever it is, it still gets their attention, and they say, "Yeah, what about Lincoln? I need a new SUV." So yeah, they got to do something. They're really, I mean, that the Navigator is doing phenomenal.
It is, and it looks different. It looks good. This is gonna be similarly styled in the interior. If there's an interior picture, it looks really great inside. They're really doing interiors better
Lincoln
than
is coming back better than ever right now.
Yeah, I mean better than Cadillac interior wise. And
I mean, the seat that seat is just hilarious. When we sat in those seats, I mean, that is something else. That's crazy. Not a big fan of that under the console area that a
that
couple
open
cars
area.
have. I think RAV4 is doing that too. What are you going to really put under there per se? I'd rather have I'd rather it be enclosed somehow and even have a compartment. Have like something that has a door there. But just to have stuff like there, you turn the bend hard and everything that you have there just like spills onto your feet. Stupid. What are you going to put under there?
Right.
So I really don't get that. I do love the fact that's an area that's wasted for sure, but I think it needs to be enclosed with a compartment. And I think the RAV4 did the same thing. It's a good looking car. I mean,
the only other thing is it's most likely not going to get the V8, of course, of the Mustang, but they'll use the EcoBoost engines in that. But that's okay.
Ford is essentially phasing out V8s. I mean,
yes.
The only V8s in their lineup are in trucks and the Mustang.
Right, and they only have one V8 right now.
They have two. They have the 6.2 in the trucks, which
no,
is like the.
No, do they even still offer that? I don't think they offer that anymore.
In the heavy duty trucks, they do.
Okay, and they're supposed to get the 7-liter. Rumors of a 7-liter V8 for the Raptor, but we'll see.
Yeah,
that's BS. I really don't believe that rumor anymore.
Speaking of Ford, real quick, did you hear about the pricing and the
of the Bullet?
Yeah, and the horsepower.
480 horsepower.
Yeah.
And the pricing is like high 40s.
46 base.
Okay, that's without destination. And then
that's just the clean 40. The clean base price is 46.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Supposedly.
Probably going to be 50 with the options, which is kind of what I was thinking.
I don't know. 50. I mean, it's pretty well optioned out.
It doesn't have. I saw the options list. You still have to get a package that has like the upgraded stereo and the.
And that's how Ford's going to scam you.
Yeah, I feel it comes with it, but.
That was the old BMW trick years ago, right? They would sit there and they'd say, "Oh, the base price for an 3 Series is only like $38,000." Yeah, try to get one like that.
All
the Mag
German
Ride
manufacturers
too.
do that.
What's that?
All German manufacturers do that.
Yeah, they'll
say, "See, the starting price on the new C300 is I don't know 40, and you're gonna buy the premium package, premium plus package, and then this, that, and the other, and then you'll end up at 55."
I mean, they're stripped at that number. It's completely stripped, and you can't even get them because they're not going to.
Porsche especially does that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because you get a base 911, you're not getting anything.
Yeah, Porsche is the worst. But and that Bullet does not come with Mag Ride either, so that is an option. So there's
that's a pretty penny option right there.
Yeah,
that's
going to be
weird.
50.
That's really weird because the guy we were talking to on your one video, he flat out said about the Mag Ride like it was a standard feature, and that's one of the reasons why we were both saying it's going to be like $50,000 because of the features he was saying sounded like they were going to be standard. That's strange.
Maybe they wanted to have options, so they didn't want the starting price to be 50, so they left some options out there.
I think it's a mistake. I mean, the people that are going to buy a Bullet's going to buy a Bullet, and they could have squeezed that money out of them. You know, who the hell is going to buy a Bullet and say, "Well, I don't want this or I do want that"? It's supposed to be the Bullet. I mean, you might remember the older ones, but I don't think there was a lot of option choices for those, were there? It was just the Bullet series is the option thing. I don't know. Seems weird.
Okay. The next one I wanted to talk about is the Jaguar F-Pace SVR.
The Jaguar.
That's gonna be insane.
Yeah, it's the supercharged.
I mean, we're talking an Audi Q5 with a V8. So.
Yeah, supercharged 5-liter V8, 550 horsepower.
That's like, I mean, Jag has some massive balls to do that.
Well, they're all.
I mean, they're all about that life. They're just like, we have this engine, why not throw it in this, that, and the other?
Yeah, exactly. And they can charge, 80 grand for it. So this is going to compete with the Stelvio, Quadrifoglio, and all the
GLC 63.
Mm-hmm.
Audi doesn't have one.
Yeah.
I'm an Audi fan, so I'm kind of bummed at that. All right. So it's like the same specs as like the F-Type R, 550, 502 torque. They say 0 to 60, 4.1 seconds. Top speed 176, which is insane for a SUV that I see a lot of mothers in my area driving. And it says
yeah. I'm still not.
So it's Car and Driver says it's probably going to be about 100 grand starting price.
I'm not a fan of the interior. I've sat in one. I don't like those door sills. They're very cheap. This one looks like it has the quilted leather, but I don't know. There's a lot of cheap bits in this car.
There's your favorite wheel.
Yeah, but at least that has like bright areas.
I actually like diamond cut wheels. So
yeah, that has bright areas. I don't like them all painted that flat gray.
Which ones they all have some sort of machine area?
No, nope.
I haven't.
Wheels just don't have that.
If you want to bring up the other Jaguar, it was the I-Pace, which is the all-electric one.
I just got to the interior.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Make it a little bigger if you can.
Yeah, I can't really see it.
That's what she said.
There you go.
I can't switch between them when it's full size like this. That's the only reason.
That's fine. But those door sills are the parts that's really cheap in the dash.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doug Umiro pointed that out in his video on the F-Pace. You want to roll your window down when it's raining?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was doing that. That's the dumbest thing. You can't have it right there, and it's not.
They did that in like the older Range Rovers. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Just why?
And it has to be lower because, like, if you look, you have to look down. There's a lot of controls there. It's not like it's just on the passenger side.
I think he said the window controls are like where you expect the mirror or the No, that's a different car.
Okay.
It's all up there. Like you'd expect maybe the mirror controls there, but not the window controls. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
If you could bring up the I-Pace, we can look at that one as well. And that one is the new. I guess Jaguar is becoming an SUV company now, but they're
what company isn't?
Well, yeah, right.
I mean, they made fairly bad sedans for 20 years, so it's a bit of a comeback. So making a boom in the market.
Now this looks like more like a hatch type, very small SUV, and
it's like GLC coupe size.
Okay, yeah.
It might even be smaller.
Where is this guy?
It should be right next to the F-Pace.
I didn't see it there. Cadillac, Ford, Genesis, Honda, Jaguar.
There it is, right by the F-Pace.
Yeah, it was down below it. All right.
Wow. That's a 396 horsepower, 240 range. That's not bad.
Yeah, they're trying to be like Tesla with that, and
well, let's see. Tesla's the king of all that stuff right now. So,
what's with the heat extraction hood on a car like that?
Good point.
It's called design. The design aspect.
Yeah, that's what Pep Boys always banked off of. You know.
Oh yeah, it's the Pet Boy special.
Hmm. Yeah,
So from that angle, it doesn't look the greatest.
Yeah, I can't believe it's going to only be electric as well, but that's what they're saying here. So it's going to be very limited, I'm sure. Then.
So again, you like these wheels as long as you have the gray inserts on the machine face.
Yeah, this has the carbon fiber inserts, but I mean, yeah, it's better than just all that. You know what I'm talking about? Remember the Tesla wheels? They're all
I
that.
remember those, but those were hubcaps.
No. I'm not that. Yeah.
Oh, the on the Model S.
Yeah.
Yeah. $1,500 option to paint them from silver to gray.
Yeah, and it looks awful.
I thought that was the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Jaguar finding ways to scam us.
Looks good in gray. It looks good in the darker colors. That bright color did not really accentuate
like red,
it for
orange, just does not.
Do you have the interior of this one?
Yeah, we're still plugging through them.
And this has that the new dash they have with the touchscreen, dual touchscreens.
That big roof, I guess it doesn't fold back all the way since it's all.
I feel like this thing was like just a concept like last year.
There it is.
Because I feel like I remember, like I went to the DC Auto Show. I feel like I remember seeing this thing as a concept there.
I don't even remember the concept of this, but I probably didn't pay attention.
It was a concept before. It was like last year, maybe. It might have been like November last year, LA, I think.
Looks nice. Nothing really stands out. I mean these
typical Land Rover Jaguar stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole thing.
This is the new hot thing for all the car companies, right? Some sort of digital display version of the HVAC system, even if it's buttons or
make that
touchscreen.
Bigger if you can.
That's what she said. No, I can't.
Okay.
I might have a different.
There's another picture. There should be another picture.
Yeah, right there. That's a better picture.
Okay. But that seems to be a hot thing for everybody right now. Is making 2 screens, but making this one just dedicated to HVAC.
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
It's a fine, yeah, it doesn't really scream anything to me. It's fine. I mean, still hate the silver. I mean, when are they going to get rid of, I'd rather them paint it gray or, even with the ZR1 Corvette, the stupid bronze color, I'm fine with something. This silver has got to go. This has been like 20 years of painting, silver parts like that. And that's actually a very expensive process. It's a plating process where they do.
Silver trim is the most annoying thing in a car. I'm just going to say that outright.
What's that?
So silver trim.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Wood panel. It's so stupid.
And it's
like my grandpa has wood inlays on his car, and then
silver on top of it, like the outline.
It's like below it.
Yeah. I mean,
the worst part about this, like I was trying to say, is this isn't painted. This is actually a plating process. It's expensive. It's called satin nickel. And it's a nickel plating process. It's very expensive to do. And it's hard to control. And yet they're still using it constantly. It looks like paint. It looks like primer.
Yeah.
And drives me nuts.
They don't want it to be shiny. So they doll it up. And
that's, I definitely get that. I mean, because even the bits that are in my car now, my newer car, you have some of that piano black and you get the reflections in weird spots, So I definitely get that. But
all right, let's change gears a little bit here and talk about the. Go ahead.
You don't want to talk about the VWs. You don't want to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to bring up. That's what I was saying. Change gears and talk about the VW.
The Volkswagen truck.
Yeah, the Atlas.
That was towards the bottom.
Yeah, the Atlas pickup concept.
Tacoma, or what the hell they call it?
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it.
That's the Atlas.
Tanoke.
I don't know. I think actually it's pretty cool. I think they will actually end up building it because they're making them in the US right now, and they won't be charged with that chicken tax. So I'm pretty sure they're going to
yeah,
come
it's a
out
big
with
deal.
something like that.
What's the chicken tax?
I mean,
It's a tax on trucks
yeah, the
from
tariff.
foreign for foreign brands.
Oh, to import them.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
import any pickups, right?
Yeah, they secured our pickup scene a long time ago. I forgot about that. Our truck scene, they didn't want anybody screwing with our trucks.
Toyota
Right.
gets away with it because they make them in America.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same with Honda, I think.
Yep.
Well,
I don't know about Nissan, but
And that's what this is going to be, more like a Ridgeline competitor.
And it's funny that the Ridgeline doesn't do that well. I mean, I did a video on YouTube. Nobody gave a shit about it. It's one of the neatest vehicles. I love it. I love the Ridgeline. I actually thought about buying one. And I love the Atlas, and I would definitely buy this over the Ridgeline. But I still like that kind of four-door pickup that's car-based platform. I think it has a place in our country, but people are still just a little uncomfortable with it for some reason. Whatever reason it is, I don't know.
I don't know. Do you think VW would be successful? I mean, they're not very successful right now, but it might be.
I think they're going to help sell this type of vehicle in general. You know, I think a few car companies are going to have to offer it. You know, it can't just be the Honda, right? Who else? You know, maybe Subaru has to do something. Maybe, you know, remember their Brat or whatever it was they brought back briefly. So it's going to take a few of them to excite this category, but I think it makes sense. It's a good category.
And then they did also have a smaller Atlas SUV, which they are going to definitely produce that. Yeah.
Or the sport version, or a small one.
Yeah, it's called like this Atlas. It's still called Atlas, but it's the sport. I don't know what they called it.
Yeah, they have that sport version, and it chops off the back corner, which is pretty neat.
Yep. I don't know if it takes away the third row or it's still.
Yes, it does, and that's what's really cool about it. But it really chops the bottom, chops the back end off. That C-pillar is.
It makes it look a lot smaller because that vehicle looks humongous right now. So.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite SUVs.
Yeah, there it is. Now. Yeah.
And
I think it looks great. Crossport. I think it looks way better. But now this is a concept version, but
it's not going to be that different. I mean, yeah, the wheels are going to be smaller. You know, the typical. It's not going to have that kind of, ride height. You know, there's going to be more wheel gap, of course, and all that kind of small stuff. But look, the taillights, the basic design's not that far away from an Atlas, so I can believe it, right? And then the interior there was a couple weird things about the interior, but it seems like it was a very producible car. Steering wheel was like pretty much a Volkswagen steering wheel.
Hey, Matt, here's a question.
What's up?
Here's a question for you. Do they make the Atlas in Europe?
No.
I don't know.
I know. They make it in Chattahooga.
No. I mean, do they sell it there? Sorry.
Oh.
Sell the Atlas in Europe. I mean, it's Volkswagen. I'm pretty sure they do.
That's a humongous vehicle for Europe. I'd really be surprised if they did, actually.
I thought they sold a version of it to China, but it was an extended, and it wasn't.
I could see China, but in Europe, I mean, like Germany.
No.
I don't believe so.
They might get this smaller Atlas.
Well, I could see, maybe the sport one, but the full-size one is humongous in Europe. I can't really see them making it.
I don't know.
Okay. Anybody out there know?
No,
Comment below.
I'm sorry. It's not the Atlas. The China got the new Touareg.
Yes, I did hear that. Yeah, and we're not getting the Touareg. We're not getting the Touareg,
which is good. That thing is it's stupid.
No, I think I just saw a new Touareg today.
The Chinese one.
Oh, not the Chinese one, not the extended one, but we do have a new Touareg. Or no, it's a Tiguan.
The Tiguan, yeah.
Yeah, not the Touareg. I get my models confused. They all start with T and they sound the same.
But I think the rest of the world's getting a Touareg, and we get Atlas. I don't think the rest of the world gets Atlas.
So the fun
I
thing
think that's
was
the rest of the world's Touareg, whatever it is.
So
All
the
the
fun
same
thing is
platform.
I was in this market to buy this size SUV, and I test drove pretty much anything. And this was my favorite, the Atlas, by far. I think it was for the money and the size and the way it was squared off. It was just it's a square design. I think it's a fantastic vehicle, and I would have bought it. The only problem is for my company, I had to do the 6000 GVWR, and it came at 5,900, like 5910 or something. It was so close, and I think that was a big mistake. They should have just bumped it up a little bit more. That's not hard to do to get over the 6,000 pounder. Every car company knows that little Hummer loophole, and they didn't take advantage of it, which I think is the biggest mistake about the Atlas. But it's still it's a fantastic vehicle. If I was just buying an SUV, it'd be between that and the MDX. I mean, they're both very, very close.
In the comments, Susan wants us to talk about the 2019 Audi RS5 Sportback Quattro. That's the green one, the green machine. And
if there's a RS4 Sportback or RS5 Sportback, we're not getting the RS4.
Right. So it's goofy, these Germans, because the A5 is a coupe. Then they go make a 4-door version of the coupe.
I don't understand.
And the A4 is the sedan. So this RS5 Sportback is actually like a
4-door coupe.
4-door coupe hatch.
Yeah, BMW does the same thing with the 4 Series.
Oh, and they all copy off each other. I hate that. Like, yeah. So
actually, no. BMW, the 4 Series is literally a 3 Series. I don't get it.
So are they actually calling this a coupe for sure?
They're calling it Sportback.
No. Sportback is their 4-door coupe type of thing. Like Mercedes has it, but it's like their own defined models. Like I have the CLA Coupe.
It's Grand.
Their little sedan.
Think BMW calls it the Grand Coupe or something.
Yeah, BMW calls it the Grand Coupe. Mercedes just calls it the Coupe. And they do the same thing with like the GLE, with the thing lobbed off it, like the GLE Coupe. They call it the same thing, yet it's a 4-door. Yet it's like the retarded, like SUV without the.
So do you guys know what the definition difference between a coupe and a sedan is?
Well, coupes are traditionally 2 doors, and the sedans are 4-door. But
sedan saloon is traditionally 4-door. All right, what is
That's not right.
What does Google say?
Coupe is a frameless door. Can be 2 or 4-door.
Oh.
And that's where the Europeans screw around with that. Sometimes they call it coupe. Yeah, it's strange. Like in US, coupe is 2-door, sedan is 4-door, period. But they play around with that terminology by the frameless door.
So this is 444 horsepower, 443 torque, which actually doesn't seem that much for a RS version.
They're underrating it.
Probably.
That's what Audi Porsche does. They underrate their cars. And I know they did that with the last generation S4. It was underrated. They said it was like 323 or something like that. It was underrated. Made about that horsepower, like 440.
At the wheels.
No. No. Like at the crank or something like that. I don't know what wheel horsepower was.
All right, let's move.
I love the Sportbacks. I mean, that's a hot thing now.
It really does look good.
I love wagons, and nobody's gonna like wagons.
The problem is, I don't know, is that an actual hatch? It looks like.
No, it's a hatch. It's a hatch.
Oh, okay. I see it up
frame
there.
up here, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
because right there, see that line?
Right.
Yeah, that makes it look like it's a trunk. That's funny.
Yeah.
The Panamera does the same thing, I'm pretty sure.
That's weird. They should have ran it up that C-pillar there. That's crazy.
It looked kind of dumb.
Not really, because that's a fold that's already there. There's already a line there. This cross line is It doesn't need to be there.
But it snakes you.
All
I can't wait for
right.
Doug Nemiro to do a review on that. He'd say, you'd think it's a trunk, but it's actually a hatch.
There you go. Quit giving them ideas.
Let's talk about the new BMW fighter, 3 Series fighter, the Genesis G70.
I didn't hear anything about it. I or read anything about it. Actually,
I'm biased. I like Genesis.
It's right there. Yeah. Now this is the smallest Genesis sedan, G70. One good thing about it, it's available with the manual.
Really?
Yes, but only in the 4-cylinder turbo, not the V6. And this is I'm pretty sure this is built off the same Kia Stinger platform, except this is more sedan-like. The Stinger is the hatch, like we just talked about.
Well, they use the same V6.
Same V6.
Is it the 3.3?
Yes. And I think the Stinger is going to get, well, it does have the 4-cylinder turbo as well, but no manual. But this will offer the manual.
You know, the 4-cylinder Stinger could get that because of the. Hey, but you can't get a 3 Series in a manual too, so.
I think we know why Tom Gear is not on the chat, because every model he says is junk. So it's funny. But yes, the interior is
you know, it's funny. It's funny though. That's the perception that they're still trying to shake, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been junk for decades. You know, all their stuff has been junk. All these companies, and they're trying to shake that perception. And they're starting to make really good vehicles. And it's going to take another decade before a lot of people are going to appreciate it.
Like, I'm going to keep referencing this, but I don't care. My grandpa has a Hyundai Genesis. It was the first year of like the new style when they really started to make the luxury cars, and it really is a nice car.
Oh, it's awesome car.
Is it which one is it then?
It's just the Hyundai Genesis.
Okay, it's not even called.
That's before Genesis brand.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's the G80. That's what it is.
Okay.
It still looks the same, but I mean, the car looks good.
And the money. I mean, for how much
for the money,
amazing.
It's worth it.
But I mean, it's going to take a long time to shake that stigma.
Like, you're getting an E-Class for a C-Class.
Yep.
Let's move on to
here's real quick. Here's the other problem with these kind of vehicles is that it's your image, and everybody knows it's still Hyundai.
Yeah.
Right? And it's got to get separated for so long until people take it for what it is, just a Genesis.
Well, that's why they made Genesis a brand. I don't know if they should have called it a brand.
Yeah, because it's like, what do you drive? I drive a Genesis, or do you drive a Mercedes Benz? Which one sounds better? And that's a big part of that kind of that echelon. So,
like, it's gonna take a while for like the Genesis name to build some of the legacy, or some of them.
Like they always say, you have to build something better. It has to be better quality, has to be cheaper, and all around better for a long time before it gets a reputation. They're gonna lose a lot of money for a long time. So which one next?
All right,
Mr.
do the Forester right there you have on there. I know it's not the most exciting model, but I wanted to.
I just saw turbo and manual.
Well, except it's not. That's the problem. Yeah. That's the story I wanted to say. Is they got rid of the XT model, which is the turbo.
Are you kidding me?
No, and the manual transmission, which was on the base Foresters, I believe. And so now they're CVT only.
Oh no, I'm not happy.
Yeah. Nothing too earth-shattering there with the styling either. I mean, it's
Subaru's become boring.
And the thing is with Subaru is they're just killing it with sales. So they're trying to be super safe. And I mean, everyone's just.
And another thing that's like
gushing
pissing me
over
off is like they canceled the STI they canceled it in the UK. I think they canceled it in Europe. I mean, either they're preparing for the new STI or they just don't care anymore. They're like,
They
we're
better
sticking
be
to SUVs,
preparing.
boring sedans. We're
Yeah,
not
I can't see them getting rid of the STI.
oriented at all.
So I'm not up to date on that. What do you mean they canceled the STI?
So, I mean, this is fairly old news, but what we know as the 2018 STI
Yeah.
is the final edition in the UK and I
Oh.
think Europe.
Huh.
Well, maybe they're going to get the new model before the US gets
For
it.
us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of mundane models, let's go to the new Corolla.
Well, you know what? What about the RAV? Actually, the one that's probably
Yes.
a little more exciting than that one might be the RAV4, right? Marginally.
No, I do want to talk about the RAV4, actually.
You want to do the Corolla before the RAV4?
No, we can do the RAV4. And something that I actually like about the RAV4 is the updated styling. I think it's a
Like,
huge
it
improvement.
went from the quirky SUV with the wheel on the back to this weird looking SUV to now it actually looks good. It looks like a Tacoma from the front almost.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. It looks like a Tacoma from the front.
I think they made a concept recently where it looks exactly like that.
Remember the concept they showed in Chicago? I think it was last year.
Or at some point, it looked exactly like that.
No, it was this past year, I think. But it definitely looks better.
I might convince my dad to go get one whenever they start popping up on dealerships because he has one.
Okay.
He has the one with the tire. I'm like, just why? He's had two of them. I don't get it.
Do you have more pictures or? I don't know.
He likes them, but
come on, man.
like he likes it, but it's like, why? I tease him all the time. I'm like, it's a chick car. I see 16-year-olds drive that.
Okay, that's a great point, actually. The one thing I do love about this segment, the CUVs, is just what we've seen. We're seeing the RAV4, we're seeing the different vehicles being a little more masculine. Like that segment was developed for women.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have been. And then as time's going on, it's like people want, like Car Guy, you wanted that kind of CUV, and literally the only masculine looking one was that Jeep.
The Trailhawk, yeah.
Yeah, it was the only one that looked like a vehicle. Just because it's small, smaller in stature, it didn't have to look feminine. And
Like
what's that?
No, you can go. You can go.
And the RAV4 is starting to do that. That doesn't look like a female's vehicle, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just it can be a little stronger.
And I'm just glad they didn't give it that stupid huge mouth like the Camry and the Avalon.
Although that front end isn't that much better, though. Oh, this is my favorite part, the Etch-a-Sketch.
What?
This thing. This picture.
Oh my gosh, it's huge, yeah.
It's huge, and it has the two big knobs.
Yeah.
It looks like an
Oh my
Etch-a-Sketch.
god.
It's so funny looking.
Yeah, it is.
I would never
that
unsee
picture
that.
actually looks like that picture doesn't. There we go. This is gonna be a little better. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that is. That's pretty bad.
I now see my childhood
it's so
in an
flat.
infotainment system.
Yeah, it's so flat and squared off with the. That's strange.
Although
that gear knob looks really stupid. It's so bulky, and then the big leather boot around it.
Well, at least it is a gear knob.
I think
and
that's
it's
what
not
they're
the
doing. They're like,
stupid little wheel.
they're like, if we're gonna put a gear knob, we're gonna put it very fat, thick, and short, like to be pronounced.
Like in my dad's car, he has this little dumb thing where it's like swivels back and forth. It's like a little cheap knob, and then it has the metal rod, and it's like it goes it like zigzags between the gears. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah. One thing about it, Toyotas are finally starting to introduce Apple CarPlay in their entertainment systems, which is good. They finally broke down and started offering it. Also, all these new Toyotas have this new engine called that Dynamic Force 2.5 liter inline four, and it's direct and port injected
A lot of power. I mean, on paper, it seems like it's pretty impressive.
203 horsepower. 203, 184 naturally aspirated.
For a little SUV.
Yeah. So that's...
And like going back to the whole, masculinity thing, I can totally see like a dad in my area driving one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the one that your family member owns, which was it your dad?
No, it's my dad.
Yeah, that owns that one. It's feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand.
If you
and before that, he had
get the Corolla.
He's had two of those
right.
RAV4s, of the ones with the wheel,
Mm-hmm.
same color, except the one he has now is a limited, so it's got fake leather seats and heated seats. That's about it. And before that, he had like a '92 Altima.
Huh.
Oh, like he put miles on his car because like he works up in Baltimore, so and like I live down in DC, so that's like the trek every day.
Yeah.
Like his car, he's had it for 5 years now.
Oh, so that's
100,000 miles.
The gas mileage. Did you hear about the gas mileage on the RAV4?
It's great gas mileage.
I didn't see the new one. I don't think they announced it.
It was well, they said that it was what they're hoping for. It's not verified, so they sort of gave a teaser. It was like 27 city, 32 highway, 29 combined. It was such a small range. I was like, what the fuck? How are they pulling that out of it?
What?
I think there's a hybrid version as well.
They're claiming that engine's 27 city.
That's not good for a little SUV.
Well,
I mean, that's not good for a four-cylinder in today's
not the
market.
Four-wheel drive.
No, they were talking about the all-wheel drive version.
That's not like my grandpa complains about this all the time. Like he regrets getting all-wheel drive because it just eats gas mileage.
Yeah.
Like he barely gets 20 miles to the gallon. I mean, V6, it's a base model.
Why don't you think 27 cities a good number? I mean, that's phenomenal.
I mean, it is, but like when you're
compared
seeing,
to what?
I mean, some engines are like a lot more.
My Fusion hybrid gets 36.
Well, the hybrid. This is the gasoline version I'm talking about, though. Yeah.
But anyway, this Corolla is a lot better looking. My question is,
you really call that a lot better looking? Look at that thing.
Oh, well, I hate the lifted Corolla 4x4.
Look at this. It's a protruding trunk. It's so weird.
That is goofy. But are they going to make a sedan version? That's what I question, because the Corolla now is a sedan.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird how they blew over that whole subject, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, they're combining all these models now because they had the Scion models. So this is the IM, I think. Now they're...
Hey, it's the Etch-a-Sketch.
Calling it the Corolla. I hate those screens that are placed like that. I just like them integrating into the dash.
You're never going to forget the Etch-a-Sketch.
I will never forget the Etch-a-Sketch that's in the Corolla and the RAV4. No.
So, do you think they're not going to do a sedan version?
They have to, I imagine.
They're gonna. I mean, that's like that's the best-selling car in its class, I think. So they're gonna have to.
Oh, by far. Yep. Every rental company in the world.
It has at least 30 of them.
Right. Oh, look at that. Buttons for heated seats. Big fan.
And then it'll stay on too.
Yep. Yeah. Put that button on and next morning it's still on.
Susan wants us to talk about the Land Rover revealed there.
And hey, check this out. An old ass iPhone still fits in there. That's cool.
Wait, this is not a plus, then I'm gonna be pissed. Because I have a plus, that's not gonna fit.
Yeah, look at that. It barely fits in there. That's funny.
Yeah.
No,
and you pull up the Range Rover SV Coupe.
Ooh,
is it a coupe or a coupe?
Nice. Two door.
That's
Yeah.
like,
Two-door Range Rover.
even though it's limited, that's nice. I'm probably
that's
never
gonna
gonna see one.
be. I don't know if they're gonna actually wait. Is this a concept, or are they actually
Nope,
gonna make
they're
it?
releasing it. They're releasing it.
That's crazy. Yeah. When's the last time you've seen a two-door huge full-size SUV?
The answer is the Land Rover Defender, and I wasn't even alive when that thing was a thing. So
The Defender.
You find it there? Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, look at that thing.
That was the one I got confused with last live that we did. Remember, we were talking about the different models, and I thought we were talking about the SV.
Hmm. How do you think that's going to sell?
it's limited. I think that's the thing.
It's limited for
It's
a reason.
probably sold out.
Oh, yeah, they're only making 999 of them.
Yeah, it's a special edition to commemorate something. I don't know what it is.
It's
And
a
it
tough
has,
I mean, think about it. It's a tough segment. I mean, it's gorgeous, but why a two-door SUV? You want an
Right.
SUV. So there's a very small demographic. I like two-doors. I had, remember my old Cherokee. It was a two-door.
Mhm.
Yeah, the two-door Cherokees are like, I wouldn't own one, but like they're tough. I like them.
And it was rare, and it sort of defeats its purpose. The back leg, I was watching some of the people get. There's tons of room back here.
Yeah, look at the different color seats, front
Yeah.
and rear.
No, it's because it's a limited edition. They're doing that. I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, it's neat. Break up the monotony of the interiors nowadays.
Just break up the Darth Vader looking interior. It adds pop color.
All right.
Is there a dashboard? I want to see the dashboard.
Ooh.
It
red.
just looks like every other new Range Rover.
That's it.
Yeah, it has the same
That's
screen.
the two screens.
Yep.
But it's sort of weird how the way this is set up. It's sort of like that extended wheelbase kind of vehicles. You know what I mean?
Mm.
With this much room, but yet it's a two-door. You're gonna sit there and climb back there, and then
I
have
don't,
all kinds
I
of
don't,
room.
yeah, I don't know how you climb back there.
And then did you
Let's
see
be
how?
honest.
Look at the back. Look how close. There's nothing back there. The seats are all the way back to the seat pillow.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Well, let's be honest. 90% of the people buying these are collectors, and it's just gonna sit in their collection. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
You're probably never gonna drive it.
All right.
I mean, unless you're David Lee,
1,000 of them, though.
drive your
1,000 of them's
cars.
a little tough to collect. I mean, 1,000's not that. 50 or 100, but 1,000's a little too much if they're gonna make it that odd. There's nothing else really exciting, huh?
1,675
bring up the Altima.
combined.
There's one thing.
And they also made
interesting about
1,000
the
Aventador
Altima.
SVs. So,
Do we have to bring up the Altima?
Well, I know it's your favorite brand, but there is
pit boards.
one interesting thing about it.
Wish I'd just leave America.
Does it have 3 pedals?
Unfortunately, not.
What?
But it's red. It's a red car.
JKLMN. Come on, where is it?
There it is. You just passed it. Yeah. Yeah. So
all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Is that the big thing?
All-wheel drive. First time in an Altima. Also, they got rid of the V6. I'm not saying anything about the styling, but I'm just saying all-wheel drive. And they got rid of the V6, unfortunately. And it's replaced with a Turbo 4. But the Turbo 4 is not available with the all-wheel drive. It's only the base 4-cylinder. So, yeah, that's kind of goofy now that you're bringing up those pictures.
People screwing us over.
Oh, look, it got a diffuser.
It's trying to be like the Camry now.
Oh, God, it got dual exhaust and a
the Camry.
diffuser.
It's so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they ruined the Camry. I mean, it wasn't a good-looking car to begin with, but it's like.
But it was fine. It was just acceptable. Now it's not acceptable.
It was a fine family sedan,
right.
sedan, and then
Dude, it's an Etch-a-Sketch.
brought the Lexus.
Another one. They're all see. They all copy off each other.
Another Etch-a-Sketch.
They all copy off each other.
I just thought of a very terrible comment, but I'm not going to say it.
And then
it might involve the people in charge of these brands. I'm not going to say it. It's really bad.
There's one more new one, and that's the Mazda. If you want to bring that up, the Mazda CX-3, which is a smaller SUV than.
See, I'm rooting for Mazda because at one point they were.
I like
awesome.
Mazda.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, when you owned your car, that was its peak, and then.
Yeah, they still keep that sportiness to their cars, and I think they look nice, and the interiors are pretty nice too, especially on the new ones. Yeah, there it is.
Haven't they had the CX-3 for a little while now?
I
feel like
CX-5. I think the 3 is. Oh, you know what? They did. Yeah, they did have the.
They've had the CX-3 for a little while. I feel like I've seen these.
Yeah. So what's the big deal? Oh, that's just the redesign with.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Nicer interior and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. They were making a big deal about it, but yeah, it's just a refresh. So.
Yeah, I feel like I just saw one today.
Ooh, does it have an Etch-a-Sketch? It's close.
Oh my god!
They all have that stupid
what
screen now, but I think it may even pop up. I don't know.
No, they don't pop up.
I love that.
None of those screens pop up. They all just sit there and look really tacky.
They should. I mean, it literally looks like it should, right? Though, if you look at that.
No, BMW does. No, if BMW has the same thing, Mercedes hasn't, and the CLA.
And why not? Why not just throw a little motor on it?
Some of the previous generation Audis, some of the lower end models have that. I know the A3 and the Q3 I think have that.
But is it a bad idea? I mean, I love it. I wish it would pop up. It should be flat there, and then when you turn on your car,
I think it does pop. I don't know.
It doesn't.
Really look.
None of them pop up. Really, they just sit there and look really stupid.
That's the thing.
You can't design the dash around it, so you'll just throw it on there and save a little bit of money right there.
Yeah. All right, let's end the show on one concept that was pretty radical, and that's Genesis again. Genesis Essentia?
Let me see the spelling, and I'll probably attempt to pronounce it.
Essentia or something. It's right at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentia. Something like that.
And that's pretty rad looking.
So this is fun. Copper.
Yeah.
I want copper to come back in. I think it
is coming. Yeah, I've noticed that now. Infinity had that copper.
I don't know about wheels, but certain accents in the interior.
On the G80 Sport model, they have like a copper looking stuff like that.
I'd love to see that be the next fad. The copper would be fun.
It only goes with darker colors. That's the problem.
Does it? I mean, it wouldn't look good.
It goes good with like grays, blacks, not even white.
If this was white,
weird.
Really?
I personally think it just looks kind of weird.
I don't know. I don't know if it's for me, but how about bronze rather than copper? I don't know.
Bronze, copper, similar color. Doesn't look good with white. Doesn't do it for me.
I think copper looks much better than bronze. I don't like bronze. And it's like that ZL1, the ZR1 interior.
I actually like that.
I'm sure a lot of people do. That's why they did it.
It's but I don't know if I like it. Especially with the orange.
717 has 2 coming, then he really likes it.
The same color?
He ordered 2 manual ZR1s, one with the big wing though.
I don't think he ordered them. He ordered them for the dealer so that they could sell it, but
No. I think he actually ordered two.
I'm not keeping two. No way.
He's probably gonna keep the big Wang and just try and get another small Wang for that car or whatever.
But yeah, this is probably the most crazy concept they showed. And Genesis again, so they're really trying to.
It's gonna just take time, and I hope they don't
Within
give
the
up.
next 5 to 10 years, they're gonna start blowing up.
Yeah,
Like they're gonna
absolutely.
be.
I mean,
They're
look
gonna
at
be
Cadillac.
a huge
Cadillac's
brand.
already getting demoralized. They're like, oh, you know, they're blaming millennials. They're blaming all kinds of other stuff because of poor sales. They just started changing their their perception. So,
Oh yeah.
so Genesis is in the same kind of boat. It's gonna take time, and just stick with it, and they'll definitely break that stigma. I think it'll be smart.
Like what most people know Genesis as is like this little two-door sports car. That's not the best.
So are they
I mean,
trying
it's. I mean, the Genesis Coupe's great, but it's like
Are they trying
it's.
to make a NSX competitor with this, or
I think it could be either a vision for a sports car or a vision for a luxury coupe,
big
like a
luxury
S-Class coupe
coupe?
type of thing.
Yeah, but the wing doors. That's kind of thinking.
Could be trying to go for like a supercar almost, or something like that. A luxury, like a luxury super sports car or something.
Yeah. Well, they're probably not going to make it, but
Could use that as future design or the basis of a future model.
It's so extreme, though. I mean, I guess they need a flagship car of some
that's
sort.
what I
They
was
really
thinking.
do.
Like
Yeah.
like the NSX, something like
Their
that.
current flagship is a luxury sedan that no one knows about. So,
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're a little over an hour and got through most of the model introductions, actually. I mean, not all of them were too exciting, but there were some interesting things about the ones we talked about. So anyway, thanks, guys, for joining. Thanks, Autonaut and Matt, for joining us on this live stream. If you guys have any other questions or comments, definitely post them in the comments below, and we'll look at them. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.